Well folks, this is the next renovation project which will run concurrently with Clanger. This is I think it's a mid-1800s stone built cottage, number 4, or number 4 next door as it shall become known. I've bought it off the former son and daughter of the property. I'll be a bit more about the story of it as we go along. Anyway, I'm in the process of clearing it out. The current owners are both, well, I think the son's in his 70s, the daughter's just turned 80, so didn't expect them to clean it out. Now, it has some quirkiness, so that's eye level for me. I think it's 5'6" to the underside. This is the, or was the kitchen. It's only a 2 up, 2 down, so that means bedroom, room at the front, room at the back, one above, one below. This is a kitchen, as I say, it's 12 foot by 12 foot. If I'm sounding muffled, it's because I've got a mask on. It's got a bit of a garden at the back. I think about 14 foot by 20 foot. So yeah, I was just clearing it out. So stairwell. Nice original decor. Your 5'6" gaps here again. I've walloped my head on it a couple of times, so I can vouch for it is actually quite firm, that bit. So this was the main bedroom. It's took me 24 hours to drop the wardrobes that were fitted in here, all old chipboard 1970s ones, probably all the rage. There was 8 mirrors, 8 vanity lights. I've lost count of the drawers and doors on it, but it took me 3 runs to the tip filled with the car. This one again, I think it's 12 foot by 12 foot, near as damn it, with the equally low door door frame. The rear bedroom has some issues. We've got a stone roof, and it looks to me as if the lead valley's failed. So it's been peeing in there for a long, long while. So all that's got to be sorted out. Probably have to change these floorboards. I've just dropped the curtains off. There's some nut job rebuilding a Landrover at the back there. Probably see a bit of him later. This room's 7 foot by 6'6". So tiny, but room for a bed. The bathroom's an entertaining one. Looks like a bespoke doorway. It's been put in. And a nice avocado suite. Shower cubicle, bath and toilet. So the plan is to renovate it, basically strip it out back, repair everything that's damaged, and make good, and then provide it as a holiday let. We're on the edge of the Peak District, so I thought that might be a bit of interest for people. Yeah, not sure it'll work, mind. So the kitchen was actually all habitable 10 years ago. The elderly lady who lived here, Clara, basically reached a point where she needed to move into a care home, and the place has, for all intents and purposes, remained empty since then. The son and the daughter took responsibility for it, and it was on sort of frost protection with a gas-fired boiler, and I'd pop my head in every couple of weeks, clear the post and just check everything. Anyway, a couple of years ago the boiler basically blew a leak internally and fired mains pressure water up at the ceiling, bringing the ceiling down and putting best part of 3 inches of water over the floor in here. A lot of damage was done, which is why it's in the state it's in now. The heating system was obviously removed, never replaced, and other than me opening the windows, the thing's basically had next to no maintenance on it at all for I think 4 years now. That's the rising water main. So the few years before the boiler blew up, the old lead main that was connected to the mains outside, that blew a leak, and again major water pressure actually flooded out the front of the garden. and through into my property. The insurance firm that handled the repairs on this side have replaced the lead water pipe up to that point there and then put it back to lead. If they'd have gone another 3 foot, they could have got the stopcock. And what's happened now is, certainly for a prolonged period, and my guess is several years, that's been peeing water out as well. Not at any rate of knots, but enough to get your hand wet and wrap around it. So yeah, we're looking at complete rewire, complete replumb, a lot of plastering, quite a lot of joinery, and then decorated it. Looks like this one's going to need a new ceiling. To put things into context, you've got plasterboard, you've got a skim over plasterboard, over lime plaster, over what do they call them? Laths, which are then pinned to the underside of the ceiling, joists. So all that lot's going to come down, and that is a horrible job. It's not too bad, but it wants coming. It's been, as I say, it's been soaked through, so even if it's dried out, it won't be solid for much longer. Yeah, anyway, I'm having to do a bit each day as and when. For those of you that are familiar with domestic wiring, so that's two-way wiring switch. That's carrying 240 volts. My guess it's probably on a on a light ring, so 5 amps or something like that. Can you see that? We'll just chop a hole out the back and then, Jesus Christ. I mean, arguably you can't get your whole hand in, but you could certainly poke something in there. So yeah. Full of interesting reminiscent. Looking like a bit of COVID, right. It's got asphalt floor which was put in over the dirt floor, which was original, and apparently the son was telling me it was his dad that did that when he bought the places. So these were hard dirt floors, or probably a stone flagged floor, maybe even a quarry tile floor, certainly up until the 50s. And these were these were low cost cottages for the manual workers of the area. And it gets a nice bit of sun. It's more than mine does. Yeah, look at that TV. People on eBay probably buy that. Anyway, so that's number 4. Loads of work ahead, and yeah, well, we'll do an update as and when. Well, it's a Saturday, and we spent most of the day clearing stuff out. Several runs to the tip, and basically cleared out the kitchen cupboards, got rid of the fridge. Still got to do that, just got to disconnect. And the kiddos have started chipping away at the tiles, and there must have been 250,000 of the bloody things stuck. I'll take you upstairs and show you where they're at. So number 1 daughter's in here chipping away at the plaster and the paper. Got a few settlement cracks. One running down there, one where the front wall's moving away, another one there, another one down the back there, and there's been some damp or something there which I'll have to investigate in the roof. The plaster's all come off that. It's been re-skimmed in the not too distant past, and they've skimmed it over the top of backing paper. So as a result, it's not hanging on me much. The noisy boys are in here. Dismantling the bathroom. Or the shower unit.
We got that one out with this one.
Yeah. Evidently he run out of screws after he's done the first panel.
They're just trying to break it off.
Yeah, anyway, it's been tiled water for ceiling on all 4 walls, so they got the task of clearing that one off. There we go. It's very good for anger management. One of my pet hates with lath and plaster is where it comes away from the bit underneath. Can you see that? So basically that lot's got to come off between the two door frames. Not a bad way, because I need to examine what's going on underneath that lot. It's been damp, it's not dry now, so, and it's mirrored on that side there. There's been a bit of a leak, I suspect through the wall rather than the roof, but we'll have to open it up and have a look. Well, this is what are we on now? Tuesday of the second week since we started. So nothing happened in the front room because I am waiting for council to come and take my beds and sofas, which is I think about 45-50 quid, but they take them away curbside because they can't get them in the car, and the skip's 350 quid. Kitchen is I've not touched that wall yet. Still got a bed in here, but all the tiles are off now. I'm pretty sure this ceiling's going to come down and then be plasterboarded and redone. The water leak in the corner, now I've turned the water off outside and the stopcock off, which is that tap sticking out. The water leak stopped, so it does suggest that it's the actual that tap that's leaking. So I think when I get the plumbers in, I'll get them to stick a stopcock on the end of the plastic pipe, and then obviously everything else will be new, which means that this lot will probably get chopped out for putting pipe work in. I've got a roofing guy coming around to have a look at the lead valley. He's due any time. So in terms of layout, one of the things I've been musing is, do I open up that window as it was originally, and actually take it down to the floor and put it a bit wider and put kind of opening doors onto the landscaped garden stroke Landrover conversion area. It's a load of money which I'd get back when I sold the place, but I ain't going to be able to charge any more per month or per night, so I don't think we'll be doing that. So the kitchen will go back in a similar kind of layout, just updated. There's no significant damp patches that I'm concerned about. The damp that's left in the corners here is what spilled out the pipes when they were pulled apart. Got a bit of a damp spot here, which correlates to the same problem they had next door on that side of the wall, and they had a firm come in and put a damp proof membrane up, which cost quite a few £1,000, so we'll be looking at the options for that one. It's dried out now, so it might not be as big an issue as I think. That lath and plaster wall, or plasterboard, plaster onto stone, is good and solid. Upstairs, we're going to drop that load of plaster and bring that back, take it back to stone, and then bring it back up so it matches that. So that's the roof issue that is all basically just in that corner, and the damp has actually run down and damaged underneath. So it's obviously been going for, well, I know it's been going for 10 years. Front bedroom is pretty much cleared out now. Kids have done a splendid job doing it all. Nothing major to report. That firewall wants a good re-skim. Everything else is... I'm in two minds whether to put a new ceiling in. There's plenty of cracks on this, so it won't take a paint, but it could be re-skimmed. And if I'm going to the cost of re-skimming it, do I drop the lath and plaster and actually do it with a plasterboard with a foil backing on it and then insulate above again? Might do that. I'll have to weigh up what the costs of that are. It's a load of mess and a load of rubbish down, but if I'm going to start dropping lath and plaster ceilings down, I'll get a skip in to hoof it all into. So there's 350 quid's worth of skip to go on. These are relatively old cracks. Nothing seems to be moving at any great rate of knots, and that's what happens with old properties. So it's a case of fill the crack up and carry on. Bathroom is now bare of its tiles, with the exception that I'm leaving this section up because there's, other than a couple that want patching in around the back there and a broken one, which we've retained. The tiles actually are in good nick and they're well on, so there's no damp. So I'll have a new bathroom suite in, put a white suite in, new lighting, and when I put the suite in, I'll choose a bath which I can actually have a shower on the wall above it, and there's a curtain around it, I think. So that'll get a shot of this bath tray, this shower tray, which is just a pain in the arse. It makes the whole thing feel small. But personally, I can't remember the last time I had a bath. I always have showers, but apparently if I take it out, it'll be to the detriment of the place. My mate suggested putting a shower unit in there, which is still an option. Move the sink basin here and actually make that out into a waterproof shower enclosure, which is, you know, it's an option. A bit more plumbing involved, but jury's out on that one at the moment. It's quite a handy storage cupboard, or airing cupboard as it is, and if I end up needing a hot water tank, that'll be where it goes. What else can I tell you? I've been up to the roof. It's got tiny little skylight, which is where a blue slate tile off the front, there's a couple of them have been removed and they've put in a little glass pane. I guess it's so spiders know where they are. But other than that, it's absolutely bone dry up there, and we have had plenty of rain over the last few weeks. And everything looks to be pretty good in order, so that's a relief. This lot's a bit grim, just because I've dropped all the white paper off it. But if you look at that, that's an awful lot of wasted space, isn't it? So if I do put the shower in behind that wall, this could be decked out into some kind of cupboard area and put the access in through that wall, because it's just stood in plaster. You know, put some kind of access probably there, the side of the shower or something, I don't know. Jury's out. Got to take up this floor because it's crap. It's been done on the, well, it's been put in, but the whilst they all line up, they only line up because they've put in small boards so that they can follow the contour, but it's all over the shop and I'd rather have it flat. But once I've got everything out, I'll start lifting them and see what state the floorboards are in underneath, because there's a reason that they've reboarded it. My suspicions are that the boards were chopped up. Anyway, these are all like presentation display bottles of different types. Still got stuff in it. Oh, the seal's gone. Oh, the seal's still gone. The owner was also a publican, so there's all manner of stuff which one's going through. Ew. If anything of it, there's a bottle of cognac in there as well, which is something like 1970 something. Yeah. That there, bit of daylight, and on the other side of it is my house. We're just going to patch up these holes now. So, I don't know how we're going to get to that one. I'm not pulling any more out though, it's all reasonably in now. That bit's a bit fumbly. Anyway, so we dust it out and we get plenty of sand and cement in there and then build it up with random stone that's on the deck. I ain't feeling brilliant because I had the COVID jab 48 hours ago. I spent all day yesterday in bed feeling like somebody was beating me up with a piece of stick. So, little bits of stone and take it easy. So we're just stripping off the last of the rooms of its paper and plaster. So this is the outside end wall, which is the one that's adjacent to my property, or well, home. Nothing quite reassures you than a cut-off wire. Marvellous. Can only hope it's not live. Got to question anybody that plasters papers directly over that. I mean, that's got I think 5 different layers on it. Yeah. The dog's back to being thoroughly unimpressed, aren't you, Sky? I had slightly hoped that this would be in a half decent wall, but you can see the plaster's blown away there. Blown away there. A bloody great big damp patch. So I think we're going to be stripping that one back to stone. It remains to be seen what the rest of the walls are like. And it's going to be fun taking out that fireplace and all the knickknacks. If anybody wants anything, just give us a shout. Apart from the dog, she's mine, and the straight edges are up for sale. Well, that's the kitchen ceiling dropped, and there's what, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 bags and a load of plasterboard. It's time for a skip. And I think I've hoovered up quite a bit of crap, despite they've got a good airflow going through here with the door open. But yeah, it's not a very nice job. Just got to clean the underside of the joists, because they're full of these. You've got plaster nails and they've got lath nails. That's a little bit less frustrating doing that. I'm going to leave all the wiring in the plumbing in place until the plumbers and the electricians have been around a look and decide what they want to use and what they don't. Apparently a 2 metre length of 22mm copper pipe is now nearly 20 quid. So 10 quid a metre. That ain't cheap, is it? Anyway, I've had enough. It's 4:15 Saturday afternoon, and I need to take it easy because I'm still recovering from that vaccine, which was only 2 days ago. Got a plasterer coming round tomorrow, give me a view whether he thinks the walls want dropping back to stone or not. The general consensus is drop them back to stone and then put insulated plasterboard up as a dry skin, which I quite like the idea of, providing there's no flex on the boards, so they're well on. Because you can put them up with, say they're insulated, and you can have a waterproof membrane on them as well, so we'll see. Anyway, got a load of crap to clear, and then yeah, take the dog out. A bit more knocking about Sunday morning, taking the plaster back to what's a sand and cement render. What I've looking at is it looks as if it's been sand and cement rendered over the top of the lime plaster, which is a bit of a shit way of doing it. It's evidently damp there, and that bit is solid through to mine, so that's a penetrating damp. The question is it rising, or is it literally just what's coming out from the roofing problem, which has made that whole corner wet, and then the stopcock down there, which has made that wet, and it's just gone to there. I won't know till I've got it all uncovered and have a good look. Then I need to decide what I'm going to do, because basically all the plaster is going to have to come off this outside wall, and some kind of damp proof course putting in, for the simple reason you can't get to the outside to point it up. You can see, get a better idea there, the damp there and then there, and I suspect that will fall around to like that. Yeah, all good fun. Bit knackered now, time for lunch. Not much holding that. This is the morning after I stripped it all off. All the surface damp's gone off that. So I think that literally was condensation being held into the plaster from the cold air coming on the door. It's drying on there. That looks like a shadow, but it doesn't feel damp. So I'm inclined to think that's all right. Go through the back here. It was quite a warm, dry day yesterday. Good strong wind blowing around. Everywhere should have dried off. You still see that patch there. So I think that's the bit that needs looking at. That wall there. The stopcock's definitely the problem on that point lower down. Otherwise I would say that was alright. I've only got a couple of hours today, so one thing or another.